All right. Good afternoon to everybody out there in Radio Land and on the internet. Today is Tuesday, June the 14th. My name is Tom Medlin, W5KUB, and I'd like to welcome everyone to Amateur Radio Roundtable. We are simulcasting the show tonight on famous radio station, shortwave radio station, WBCQ, The Planet, on 5130 kilohertz up in Monticello, Maine. We had reports last week from the UK and Costa Rica, and seemed like the conditions are starting to get better for our shortwave. I'd like to invite everyone to join our Facebook group, W5KUB.com Facebook group. It gives you information about all the information that's coming up on our shows. And it's also just a good ham radio website. You can post pictures and talk ham radio and all those things. Just a couple quick announcements. Well, next week we're going to have a fantastic show, guys. I don't think anybody's ever done this before. You know, we try to do new things that people haven't done before. Just like we did Hurt Island here a few months ago. We had them in here live from Hurt Island. And next Tuesday night, we're having our friend astronaut Doug Wheelock, all the way from the secretive city in Russia, Star City, Russia, will be on our show, the entire show. And I hate to do it to him, but we're making him get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be on the show. And many of you worked Doug when he was up in the space station and the IIS as NA1SS. He's really a cool guy, and I think you'll enjoy the show. And then more to come later. I'll give you details in an email and next week. But we're going to do a very special field day webcast on Saturday. I think that's June the 25th. We're going to have from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be down in Florida at the Youth Field Day K1D down in Florida, and we're going to have 2 hours of that operation. And then we're going to switch back to our Memphis studio here. Actually, tonight we're in Studio 6. But anyway, we're going to switch back here to our studio in Memphis, and we're going to have probably 2 or 3 hours of field day locations calling in from around the country. In fact, to help us spread the word, we need to get the word out, and we need to get people to call in. So we can have them call in by telephone. They can send me a picture if they want us to put a picture on. We can arrange for them to call in on Skype. They can do Skype from their mobile phone and give us a tour of their field day operations. So this ought to be a pretty exciting field day webcast coming up. So let's see what else we've got here. Let me bring in. Oh, let me also say one thing to our shortwave listeners. If you're out there listening on shortwave, if you like to join us on our webcast, go to W5KUB.com. That way you'll be able to watch the show, and you can also get in the chat room and join us. And we'd love to have you in our chat room and watching our video. And we've got a guest in the studio tonight. We got Walter, one of my neighbors, local ham, and he's in here turning some studio lights on. We put new lights up. We don't think we need them, but Walter turned them on anyway. And let me give you a shot of Walter there. There's Walter right there. Walter, wave at him. So Walter's kind of helping out tonight. Kathy is over at our home in North Carolina there. They're having a girls' week away from home, so she's over there with some others. So it's just me and Walter running the show tonight. So let's get back to the show here, and I want to bring in our co-host Frank Howell down in Mississippi. So let me see if I can get him in here. There we go. Hey, Frank, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, I am doing great, Tom. This is Frank K4 FMH in Ridgeland, Mississippi, just south of Tom Medlin, up in what we call the great state of Memphis, if you're in the barbecue world. It's kind of like Texas. They have a National Beer of Texas. Well, if you're in Memphis and barbecue, you're in the state of Memphis. So, doing well.
All right. Well, great. I hear you're not going to be available on field day, and I'm kind of sad about that, but you've got another engagement, right?
Well, yeah, it moved beyond the engagement stage, and now, some 28 years later, it's called an anniversary. So my wife and I will be celebrating our 28th anniversary, and last January, as both you and one of our special guests know, because you were there, I was very involved with the Jackson Capital City Ham Fest. Well, that was her birthday. So, I don't want to run too close to the flame. The moth did that and lost his wings. So yeah, I'm going to be out of the ham action, this year, but perhaps next year. I certainly plan to be there next year. Yeah, we'll be celebrating.
All right, well, good. You take her out and buy her a good meal and anything she wants there. At least once a year, do that.
Well, yeah, at least.
Yeah, so let's do this. I think we got an exciting show tonight. We got a couple of very interesting topics, but also, last week we gave away that BHI noise digital signal processor, and you want to talk a little about it? And I've got the video here. Tell me when you want to run it.
What I want to set this up is one of the things that we didn't get a chance to talk about, other than in general, is they have just a variety of products now. When they started out, they had a good circuit that they've made significantly better, but they've got a range of products. And I have a portable HF and VHF UHF station, and it features a Yaesu product, the very famous, well-known FT857D. Well, VHI has a small speaker with their DSP circuit in it. It's called the NES10-2 Mark III. And I have that built into a gator case, if you're familiar with those. The front and back ends of them both come up, so you get a lot of venting and things like that. So we've got a very brief 30-second video that will illustrate how well that speaker works. It does have an earphone jack, so you can do that if you're running headsets. But here on the cusp of field day, I wanted our viewers to see the before and after for this portable speaker. So
I'm going to run that, and let me tell you, I put it together at the very last minute. I think it's okay. I'm going to run it, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say this before I run it, I've got to get me one of these now. I mean, I want everybody to listen to this, listen to the audio, and watch the guy flip the switch. He flips it on and off, and listen at the noise difference. So here we go. It's about a 30-second video. Here we go.
Thank you. 73. Go ahead.
Well, Frank, I think it's probably showed a lot of it here.
Well, it does. And let me comment. Now, the D version of the FT857, it has a DSP circuit in it as well. And one of the things that I've noticed is that on the worst of the noise conditions, at times I run them both. And when I do, I've not really run into anything from my portable experience that having both of those circuits in doesn't handle. I mean, they don't just duplicate one another as in concentric circles. They also, each one adds something to it. So, listen, that's a portable one. It would be a great field day edition if you don't have it. And let me give a shout out to Katie Allen, who won that by Hambot. You know what she's doing? She's working with a YL in the Ukraine who is sort of getting pushed around by some of the OMs there. They're not really wanting to help her. So Katie Allen is leading a group of people putting together an HF package for this YL into Ukraine. And instead of keeping that BHI box for herself, she's including it in the shipment to the Ukraine. Now, that is fine business in amateur radio. So congratulations to you, Katie, for paying it forward. Just wanted to add that on the BHI speaker, adds on to what we talked about last week. And I want to thank Graham Somerville for BHI for donating that gift last week.
Well, I tell you something, after seeing and hearing that thing work, wow. I mean, I don't know if the people on the website were able to see it, but it really made a big difference there. So, hey, just really quick, hey, I got my Heard Island QSL card in today. Look at this.
So you heard?
I not only heard, but I worked Heard Island. Okay, back to you, Frank.
Listen, as Ed Sullivan would have said, we have a wonderful, wonderful show tonight, and I want to introduce a very special guest, Chris Wilson, National Sales Director, and he's also the head of an R&D team. There are very few people who are sales directors who also do the technical end. Yaesu is almost unique in that regard. So N0CSW, Chris Wilson's going to join us here tonight. We're going to talk all things Yaesu. Chris, how you doing this evening?
Hey, Frank, I'm doing well. And yeah, it's good to be on here tonight. Thank you guys for having me on the show quite frequently. Yeah, I think the last time I was on with you, Frank, we were in, was it Jackson, Mississippi, or Jacksonville?
We were in Jackson at the Hamfest. And
right.
I also had, as they say in the business, you were my guest on another network just before that.
That's correct, yes.
So, but we were on camera on W5KUB in Jackson. You were talking about what was happening with Yaesu, and hey, it's been a good 6 months since then. We've had another Dayton. What's new in the world of Yaesu?
Well, there's a lot. We've released a couple new products. We have the FT891 that's getting ready to hit the shelves. And right before Dayton, we released the FTM 3100 and the FTM 3200 DR. And the 3100 DR is an analog version of the 3200 DR. It's a monoband VHF radio that's 65 watts, has a 3-watt front panel speaker. Really compact design for a 65-watt radio, so it's a lot smaller than your typical FT2900. The really big announcement at Dayton, though, was the DR2X repeater that we're coming out with. So the DR2X is in development stages right now. We're currently polling the community. We're doing a lot of research here in the United States on what our customers want, and we've sent that back to our R&D teams in Japan. And they really do a lot of the work here. When we do customer research in the United States, we kind of just find out what the customers want. The engineers over there are the ones that really put it together. So they're working extra hard right now to get this DR2X out, and we're expecting it sometime at the end of the year or the early part of 2017.
Well, that's great, because that really builds on the Yaesu System Fusion line of technology that you've had now, what, 2.5 years or so? Is that somewhat accurate?
It's going on about 3 to 3.5 years right now.
Okay.
We released the technology in 2013, late 2013, and it's been building from there. So my boss, Dennis Machenbacher, K7BB, the Vice President of Sales for Yaesu USA, released that back in 2013 at the Taper DCC conference. It generated a lot of interest. It was still about 6 months till the actual hardware came out. They started a beta program. They put 300 repeaters out there before I got on with Yaesu, before I came on board with Yaesu. And those 300 beta sites that we called and we sent out beta hardware went really quick. We had a lot of people pick up the technology and they ran with it. So they were really quick to jump into the production installation program, which was $500. That we started off with in 2014, and since then we put quite a few repeaters out there. We can't just yet say how many we put out there, but it is a phenomenal amount of repeaters. So the program's progressed really quick, and it's brought us up to the path here with the DR2X where we're going to go. And things are going to keep going fast from here. There's a lot of products that are planned, a lot of stuff that's happening. There's a lot of just chatter going on between us and Japan, so we know that we have a really promising, really strong future with the System Fusion technology.
Well, it's caught the imagination of a lot of people, and I think, to be fair, if you compare vendors and product lines, and even where you have a product line like DMR that's not really a vendor's product line, as in Motorola, but it's something that hams kind of modify and use, you have to put them on the same time frame. And if folks will kind of be objective about it and put ICOM's D-Star product on the same timeline with Yaesu, I really think you guys have moved very, very quickly. It's hard to say what was quicker. But, John, it took a long time for D-Star to really get out there. And I think one of the things that I give Yaesu tremendously high marks for is the beauty of understanding when you offer a deep discount program for the repeaters, you're going to drive sales in the transceivers. And that was not something that your competitors did. They work deals where if you buy this, we'll give you that, and and that kind of thing. And that's a great program. But I think really Yaesu has tapped into one of the marketing strategies of anything in recent history with your deep discount program. And I know here in Mississippi we have mushroomed. We have a Magnolia Intertie that I'm directly involved with, of course, but we got a lot of other repeaters that people have put up their Yaesu. Our neighbors in Alabama is a pretty strong D-Star net, if you will, but they've got Alabama Link where there's, I don't know, it seems like 8 or 10 or maybe 12 that even branch over into Mississippi. And so that is mushrooming on the repeater end. Chris, what I'm enamored with, I have 2 FTM 400s, and I'm enamored with the APRS implementation. And you bridge that with group monitoring, where if you're talking to other, Yaesu Fusion hams, you can kind of keep up with one another. I think that's been a big, big boon.
Hey, guys, look at here what I've got. And I haven't even taken it out of the box yet, but I'm going to soon. I want to get on Fusion.
And listen, I'll give a plug out to the Capital City Ham Fest and to Yaesu. Tom Medlin won that.
I did.
In Jackson at the Capital City Ham Fest. So.
Now we just got to get him to take it out of the box. And
and for us old geezers, Chris, time is a relative thing. So
I found doing this show is taking a lot more of my time than I have for ham radio.
Hey, listen, understand that I used to be on every fortnight, as the Brits would say, on the ICQ podcast, and for a 20-minute segment, it was about 3 hours from conceptualization to end product uploading to them, and I finally couldn't keep up the pace with them. So I hear you, Tom. But I know our viewers appreciate it because you always have good stuff. Chris, you're one of the things I'm seeing from what you just said is you're continuing the Yaesu System Fusion line, but you're also continuing some non-fusion products as well. So you're diversifying, shall I say, updating some of your transceiver lines and that sort of thing. So you're kind of continuing to build those newer products out there with those that you just mentioned.
Yeah, we are. We just came out with the FT891. That was a radio that we premiered at Dayton. We actually had the radio out as a prototype. We did not have a DR2X. We did have the FTM31 and 3200. So yeah, the 3100 and the FT891 are 2 new analog products. The 891 it's a great little radio. Its receiver performance reminds me of an FT991, just in a smaller footprint, smaller package. So I've had the opportunity to sit down with the radio and play with it. It's a really great HF mobile radio. It's got a lot of neat features in it. So it's one more step up in the HF mobile market for those guys that are really dedicated to the HF radio. It's a way for them to get into a radio. We're anticipating or estimating that the price point on it's going to be in the sub $1,000 range. So we don't think it's going to exceed that. It's going to be a nice, affordable, high-end mobile radio. So we have that on the way. And the 3100, FTM 3100, of course, has already hit the market. As I mentioned, it's a 65-watt mobile with a front panel speaker. It reminds me of the FT 2500, the old 25. I can't remember if it's the 25 or the 26. We had that one with the front panel speaker, and it's been a great little radio. So I've had a chance to sit down with all these radios and really play with them. I'm impressed with all of them, the performance of them, as well as the durability. The FTM 31 and 3200 is just a really solid radio. I feel really good about standing behind those radios. So we are focusing, right now on updating the entire product line. Of course, when we split with Vertex Standard, it gave us time to focus entirely on amateur radio. So we're able to do a lot with our engineering department right now and bring out a lot of cool stuff like system fusion and IFDSP in radios and really cool color displays and just all kinds of neat features that we see in the radios like the FTDX series today.
Chris, I want to go down to the lower end of the power spectrum, and it's a question that so many people want to know. What's going to happen with the 817? Are you coming out with a newer version? Because that's been a staple for the QRP community. That 817 has just been a stalwart.
And yeah, Tom, I really think that's something that we have to live up to, and that's why I'm glad they're really taking their time with that radio. Whatever release Yaesu Engineering comes up with, I want to be absolutely happy with it. I want to be able to stand by it, and I want it to be a radio that I'll pack along with me. And a lot of people know any show you find me at, if you ever want to use an 817, I always have an 817 with some type of portable, quickly deployable antenna. I actually typically carry around a buddy pole or an Alex loop. The 817 is my go-to radio. I'm a QRP person, hands down. I only have owned 3 amplifiers in my life. I only keep one around at any given time. I really don't run power, so the 817 I feel a real personal attachment to, and I just want them to take their time on it. And with any big company or major brand name, you always know there's something out there, but we don't know exactly what it is yet, and we won't know till they probably get done with the prototyping and everything else of the unit. So whatever they come up with, I know it's going to be great. Any discussions that we've ever had, we all agree between us and Japan Engineering and upper management in Japan that the 817 really has to be a big hit, and it really has to be done right from the ground up. So they're going to take their time with it, and hopefully we'll hear something within the next couple of years. But right now we don't have a release date at all, and we plan on continuing the 817.
Well, and the wisdom of that is the 817 ain't broke, folks. It does not need fixing. It's a proven product. And yeah, we all kind of want Christmas to hit every 2 or 3 months, right? Every quarter we want some new thing. But the problem with that is all the investment, and a lot of hams know this, but they don't think about it in their zeal for the latest and greatest, is that prices go up as the investments go into it. And so you really want that right size. It's like Ernest and Julio used to say, no wine before it's time. No new 817 before it's ready is what we're hearing Chris say. And that's probably what you want Yaesu to be saying, because the 817 is a winner and it's a great product. So you want its successor to have the same wow factor. Listen, the 991 that you just talked about has really made its impact in the market. And are you generally happy with what kind of feedback you're getting from the customers who've adopted that?
Everyone that's looked at the 891 and played with the radio has been very, very happy with it, so I've been happy with the feedback. One of the things that I get about the 891, or one of the comments that I get a lot is, well, the 857 is going away. Not to my knowledge. Of course, it's something that could happen, but right now we're planning on keeping the 857 around. It has the 2-meter and 440 side to it. So we really aren't going to get rid of that radio, and that's the number one thing that I hear. Is a lot of people excited about the extra receiver performance, but afraid that a really proven, tried and true radio is going to go away. So we're not ready to give up on the 857 just yet. Like I said, I can't promise anything, but no plans as of yet.
Well, speaking as just one person, I'll have to quote Charlton Heston as he raised that musket at the National Rifle Association. You'll take my 857 from my cold, dead fingers.
And there's enough of them out there for you to stay well stocked for a long time. So we've sold a lot of those radios over the years.
You bet. Listen, I want to give a little shout out to your service department. As I've mentioned, I have two of the FTM 400s, and in my truck, I wanted to add a little charge controller. And quite frankly, I screwed up and didn't do a really good Anderson power pole, and so I sparked, a current surge. Well, there's a little diode in there that protects the rest of the circuit, and it popped that diode. Well, I had two, so I tested it and I isolated it to that one box, and I called your tech support, and I want to tell you, for $47, I shipped that out to California, got it back within about 10 days, had a technician call me and tell me what the deal was, authorized the repair, and had it back. I just can't imagine realistically getting any better service than that. And I want to tell you that because no matter what business you're in, you're going to get detractors and they want it like for a vehicle. They didn't clean my car out. They didn't. Well, hey, this was done as well as anybody could possibly do it. And that cost me $47 and it was my fault.
Well, I appreciate that. We have a top-notch customer service supervisor, Wes Gray, who a lot of people know from just dealing with Yaesu in general. He's definitely written the company, so he does a very good job at keeping the service department running well. Overall, I've always been happy dealing with Yaesu service, even before I went to work for Yaesu. So, if anybody ever complains about the service, it just really kind of hits me, touches me hard. When I find those posts online, or anybody sends me anything, be it one of our dealers or another customer, of where somebody's unhappy, we really try to reach out to all of our customers and say, no, this isn't the way that we do business. We have a solid principle that the customer is always right. As cliche as it may sound, the whole company follows that principle, and the owner himself does. So he's humble enough that he would go down to our customers' level if he had to, and deal with service himself. So,
Chris, let me add this as we look at our time here. Yaesu, let's see. I've heard of them before. Like they're not just a new startup, right? You're coming up on an anniversary.
60th anniversary this year. This is Yaesu's 60th anniversary. So if you were at Dayton, we had a lot of good 60th anniversary swag to give away. Our hats look really nice. So if you were there, we passed out about 8,000 hats. So yeah, this is number 60 for us, and it's been a great year.
There's just not that many vendors that are older and that are still around. I mean, there were some that were there before Yaesu came out, obviously, but those that are in operation today, to be 60 years old, it's kind of a small group.
It is, and in the next webinar that we're going to have coming up here, we're scheduling it right now. I believe it's going to be on June 30th. We're going to touch on Yaesu history a little bit. We have about 15 minutes. We're going to go back through some of the old product line and some of the things that started the company. And there, of course, were some major products like the FT101 that were a turning point for the company that built it into what it is today.
Well, that's great. And look, let me compliment you, too, on something that comes out of your hide time-wise, and that is your willingness and your ability to appear by Skype at club meetings. There are not many vendors that do that. I mean, you may get a one-off. Like I may talk Martin Jew into appearing because we're friends, and Martin does that some, but it's not a policy of the company. So let me compliment you on your willingness to do that. It goes a long way, because if there's one thing that makes a club meeting go well, it's not listening to an exciting treasurer's report or approving those minutes. It's having a good program. And so I know that comes out of your hide and the clock, and so I want to thank you for doing that.
And not a problem.
Do you have any final questions? Tom, you have any final questions for Chris?
I just want to thank Chris for being on tonight, and we'd like to invite him back again soon. Maybe when we have a little more time to talk, a lot more about everything Yaesu's doing, and maybe by then I'll have my Fusion running.
Absolutely.
Listen,
anytime.
Chris, look, let's do this while we're on there. When you know what the DR2X is that you can talk about publicly, I know you know more than the company lets you say. Ping me and let me know, and we'll have you back on Amateur Radio Roundtable, because we want to have this as a venue where we can learn and communicate about Yaesu System Fusion. Does that sound like a good thing?
Absolutely, Frank. Yeah, I'd be happy to be on anytime.
Hey, that sounds great. Tom, I'm going to close it up from my end, and to make your life friendly, since I know the real producer is in North Carolina, and you're kind of winging it with your buddy there. I'm going to ring off with Chris. Say 73 to everybody out there, and I'll see you again on the 28th. And we've got another exciting show coming up then. Chris, thanks for being here. Tom, I'll say 73 to you too, bud.
Yeah, and hey, and Chris, if you can find a way to help us spread the word about this field day webcast we want to do, if you're in with any of these field day groups, please drop our name and let's get them on here.
Absolutely. I visited 23 clubs last year, starting in Mexico all the way up to Northern California. So hopefully I'll be able to call in from one of them and say hi.
Hey,
right.
Please do. Please
do. Thanks a lot for having me on the show,
Thank
Tom.
you. Thank you very much. And 73 to you, Chris, and also to you, Frank. And we're going to go ahead and get the Lee family on here next. 73. All right, so that was an interesting segment there with Chris Wilson, the National Sales Manager for Yaesu. We'll have him back on again. When we have a little more time, we'll talk more about it. Hey, guys, I'm really excited about this field day deal. Help us spread the word about field day. Email me at tom@w5kub, tom@w5kub. And show your field day operation off for just 5 minutes. Skype in with your phone if you can. We'll put you on here, and everything's recorded. So the next day you'll be able to see all the different field day locations and how you guys compare to the others. So please get in contact with me. So everybody stand by. I'm gonna put a little entertainment on here for you. I'll be right back.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
Hey, Tom.
Stand by, sir.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
All right, and we're back. And I've got a bunch of hams with me right now. I tell you. I've got WX4TV James with me. I've got, looks like Hope is there, KM4 IPF. And we're going to talk a little to Hope and James. And, oh, man, I think we're going to talk to everybody. Let me see if I can remember. We got Zachariah, WX4TVJ, Faitana, AE4FH.
Hey, Tom, you guys, your audio is a little bit broken up. I'm going to mention to the people in the other room that we need to not be streaming everybody. Hey, guys, just one computer streaming. The other ones need to turn off, please.
Looks like we're having some competition maybe with the bandwidth here out at the James house. But anyway, James, are you hearing me better?
Yeah, Tom, we may need to try to reconnect.
All right, let's do this. Let me reconnect with you. It'll just take a second. I'll call you right back.
Okay. All right, Tom, how's this?
All right, is that a little bit better right there?
It's a little bit better.
Is that better?
Yeah. We've got a really robust internet connection, but it's a little bit choppy, but we'll see how it works.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me do a mic test here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm with James, WX4TV, and we're with Hope, KM4IPF. Are you hearing me now, James?
Yeah, we hear you now. That is Hope, KM4IPF.
Okay, very good. I was just going to say, I was going to see if I could name all the hams that are under that roof here. We got Zachariah. Will he be on here tonight? WX4TVJ?
WX4TVJ will be on. AE4FH will be on. We have another one that we need to share a call sign with.
Cool.
Maybe we can get everybody to come stand behind the shack here. Maybe they can all get on behind the shack here real quick.
Well, hey, we can do it any order you want. We got a lot to talk about tonight, so you kind of control your end there. You got a big crowd. There's not that many households that have that many hams in them, so you're gonna have to kind of help manage this.
Yep, there's some of them coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. Hey, where do you want to start? First of all, what are the kids doing here? And what's Hope doing? Is she operating much?
We've all been actually. It looks like you're not getting our entire picture here. Can you? Let me widen this out. I'll widen this camera out. We're seeing a lot more than you are. Hope.
Are you? Okay.
Please move.
You're getting reports. I've even got an echo.
Can you turn that or tilt it down a little bit on the tripod? Yeah, we set up with the picture here that we're seeing that we're sending to Skype, and it's a lot more than what you're seeing. It looks like so.
Okay.
That looks better. Yeah.
All right. So I'll say hi to Hope there first. Hi, Hope. How you doing?
Good.
Talk up. Talk real loud for us.
I'm doing good.
All right. I've been watching you on Facebook make contacts.
Yeah, Tom, it sounds like we're not getting your audio here. I think you said we've been watching you on Facebook making contacts.
Okay, well, let's see. I'll get a little closer to the mic, maybe. I'm not getting enough through there. Are you hearing me better now?
This is a packet drop thing that's going on, it sounds like here.
Okay.
I know there's been some issues with connectivity down in Florida tonight with Verizon. And I don't know if that's causing part of the problem or not. We could try connecting and doing the audio so I can hear you over our cell phone, if that would work.
That may, well, it may be out of sync with the picture. Let's just try to stay here if we can. Your picture's looking pretty good, James. I guess you're just having trouble hearing us.
Yeah, our problem is that we're only getting half a syllable out of you every now and then.
I got you. I'm gonna call you back one more time. A lot of times, Skype does this. I'm going to call you right back.
Okay.
Okay. Is that any better?
That sounds a lot better.
Okay, good. You know, sometimes on Skype, when all folks make a call, there's no audio at all, and we have to call back, and then we get it the next time around. So you hearing me okay this time?
It's there. It's not the greatest, but it's better than it was.
Okay. Well, look, let's do this. I'm hearing you fine. There's no packet loss or anything here, so we may have to just kind of turn it over to you and let you talk about some of the things. Let's talk about K1D first. Or no, let's do this. Let's talk about the kids and what's going on with the kids there.
Well, we have been doing some studying and doing some antenna building for field day. What else have we been doing? Doing some operating?
Well, we've been operating, like, Danny goes out, he finds a radio or something, we go work it, as well as him, and Tigray and I have been studying for our extra class.
Well, that's cool. And I've been watching you on Facebook, too. I like the videos.
We went to Dayton. That was something big that happened, and Hope did something in Dayton. What did you do in Dayton?
I spoke at the youth forum.
So Hope spoke at the youth forum about satellites, and she did really well there. They had a lot of really good speeches by, I think, 10 or 12 different kids. Some really good content this year. And we ended up spending an extra day up there in Dayton. A friend of ours, 486TT, Amir from Israel, had another friend, Alan, Echo Alpha 3 Hotel Sierra Oscar, was with him. And it turns out Alan, like me, is a filmmaker. And he was working on a documentary that will be released in the theaters about ham radio.
So you guys are going to be movie stars.
Well, a couple of the girls got interviewed for the movie, and we're going to, actually, I'm a cinematographer, and we're going to be working with Alan on the movie. I got permission this morning to publicize it and talk about it. It's going to be called Hello, Perfect Stranger, and it's going to be a feature-length documentary about ham radio, and it's pretty much going to be made by hams. Our kids will be in it, and hams from all over the world will be in it, and I'm not exactly sure how it's going to take shape, but that's something new and exciting. And then we've been, as Hope said, she and Zechariah have been studying for their extra class exams, and we've been getting stuff ready for field day. The kids are going to be doing a field day entry with a special event call sign K1D, which spells kid, and they'll also have a GOTA station with Kilo 4 Golf for GOTA, and that'll be here in Florida. We're inviting any kids who are hams or not hams, and adults who can be kids for a weekend, to come and take part in the K1D activities. It's pretty much going to be headed up by kids, but anybody can come and get on the air, whether you are a under 18 or not. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so this is going to be a full-featured video, like a movie, a documentary, and Hello, Perfect Stranger. Well, when do you guys expect it to be released? And it's going to run in the theaters, right?
Well, Alan is currently cutting a trailer for it, and going to raise a lot of money to do it. And there will be a lot of travel around the world. Some of the expeditions, I think the plan is to go on some of the expeditions that are coming up, to do some. I know he's already filmed with the Dead Sea expedition that they did in Israel earlier this year, and also to go to some of the big contesters and just go around the world. So not sure when it's supposed to be released. They're still in the fundraising stages for it, and that'll all come out, and I guess when that happens, they'll make it public. So all I know right now is that we're allowed to talk about it's going to be called Hello, Perfect Stranger. It is a feature-length documentary made about ham radio, and it's made by hams. So hopefully we'll get it right and know what we're talking about.
Okay, well, cool. And I think I'm hearing the echo come back from your audio. I don't know why, but we're gonna make it through this. Well, hey, good news on that. Keep us posted on the video and how it's coming out, and because hey, we like to watch ham radio stuff like that. Hey, let's jump over to K1D real quick. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we're going to do a special field day webcast on Saturday the 25th. And you guys are going to take control of the webcast, I think, from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. And you'll be webcasting the K1D youth field day there. We're going to get to see your operations and all the things that you do. And then when you finish at 6, we're going to cut back over to the Memphis studio, and we're going to have little 5-minute segments from field day locations around the country calling in, and we hope that we get a lot of participation there. So I'm looking real forward to this field day event coming up here. It's what, weekend after next, right? 25th.
Yeah. So yeah, we will. The plan is to try to stream a little bit from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time of what's going on at Field Day with K1D, and we'll take the cinema camera out that I have and the streaming box that I have, and we'll try. There should be good internet connections out there, so we should be able to do it. And we'll just kind of show what's going on and show what the kids are doing, and hopefully we'll have lots of kids out there. The plan is we'll be at the Lowe's parking lot in DeLand, Florida, and I'll just plug it. It's going to be on International Speedway Boulevard, and you won't be able to miss us because Lowe's is supposed to have a big setup of disaster preparedness items, the kind of I guess co-brand things with ham radio, but there's also going to be a 1940s fire truck that's been fully restored that will be on location there, and that will get some more kids to come over, I'm sure. And hopefully we'll make lots of contacts. Oh, I know Andrew Glassbrenner, KO4MA, who is going to be a kid for the weekend, is bringing over a satellite station so that we can get kids and other people who want to get on satellite to experience the excitement and the fun of talking on amateur radio satellite. So I think it's going to be a rather big deal. Hopefully we'll get lots of kids to get on the air and lots of parents and grandparents to see that their kids and grandkids have a spark and get some families involved in ham radio. That's our ultimate goal, is to get more families involved in ham radio.
Well, that's great that you guys are doing that, and everybody on Facebook and in the chat room knows you guys. You guys have done an outstanding job promoting ham radio, and I know the kids there do talks and speeches at the forums up in Dayton. I saw one where they were talking about antennas and building antennas, and they could teach a lot of adults a lot about antennas and propagation and what antenna is used for what. So you're really teaching them a lot of neat things there. So let me ask Hope. Hope, what do you like working best? What kind of contacts do you like best?
I like to do the satellites. I talk on the satellites and get a bunch of rare islands, and it helps me get some of the states I need for Worked All States. And I've gotten a lot of countries and different states with doing the satellites.
Well, you know, I'm going to put my satellite stuff back together again, and I'm going to try to talk to you on satellite maybe before summer's over, because I want to talk to you guys. So you use a little handheld, is it like an elk antenna or something that you use outside?
Well, outside, since my arm's not really strong enough, Daddy holds it a lot of times. But we have an arrow antenna that we hold out, and we keep track of the satellite. And then we have two handhelds. Yeah, with an iPhone. We use ProSat.
Okay, so you use the arrow antenna, and you make him hold it because he's stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Tiny arms don't always work. Well, they're not tiny, but small compared to his.
Well, Hope is actually going to have to learn how to hold her own antenna. When Faithana gets here, we'll be talking about why she'll need to be able to work the satellite all by herself later this summer.
Yeah.
But we'll let Faithana break that news.
So, Hope, what program do you use to track the satellites?
We use ProSat.
Yep.
ProSat, okay.
Bring it up.
Okay, he's going to show you. ProSat, you can choose a satellite or International Space Station or whatever, and then it'll tell you like where it is, if it's descending or ascending. Descending is north to south, and ascending is south to north, and it'll tell you where to go.
Wow, I didn't even know all that. I just knew it came across. That's cool. So, do you know about the, what can you tell me about Doppler shift? Do you know what Doppler shift is?
Well, Doppler shift, you have to change the frequency, and this was in the youth form speech, so that part I already know, but it's kind of like a train. Like, as the frequency goes by, it's like a train, because the train sounds like an yeah. I don't know if you could hear that, but
I heard it.
Make it loud enough. Okay. But as the frequency goes by, it changes and changes, and it's almost like making the sound of the tunes and all, and then it goes back down as it makes a different sound, like as it is passing you, the train, it starts to get back quieter. So it's kind of like that.
Well, you described it perfectly. Hope, how old are you?
I'm 9 years old.
9, okay.
I was
You're
about to
9
say,
going on 16, it sounds like. Okay, let me ask you another technical question. What about the polarity of the satellite signal? What do you have to do with the polarity of the satellite signal when you're listening to it?
Well, the polarity, since the satellite, it spins in space when it orbits the Earth, so you have to twist the antenna so that it gets a better signal. Like if you just kept it straight, but with passing it, then you would get strong signals, and then all of a sudden weak signals, and it would keep going like that.
That's exactly right.
But
Well,
if
you're a satellite expert.
Until you get the strongest signal. When it changes, you twist it, get the stronger signal, and that's how you do polarity.
You're an expert. Is there anybody else there that I can try to test, James? You got any other hands there want to get on? Let's see what
I'm
they're
not able
doing.
to understand the question there, Tom. I do see in the chat room somebody's asked what kind of radio does Hope use for satellites? What do you use for satellites?
I use 2 handheld FT60R Yaesus.
All right. Cool. I'm hearing you fine, James. Your audio and everything's just looking great.
Okay.
It's hard to tell where this echo's coming back, but I think we're doing good.
But we'll get this figured out before to everybody who's watching. What we're doing is we're using a broadcast camera with a Blackmagic encoder box, and we had planned on doing a lot of testing and getting this up and going, but with what happened in Orlando earlier this week, things have been pushed back, and it didn't take priority. But we did get on the air here, and of course, a lot of studying for extra exams and stuff like that. So, Hope, is there anything else you want to say, or do we need to bring in another young lady to do some talking here?
Yeah, but could I also help explain when she gets to that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're going to bring Grace in.
All right.
now.
Yeah. Let's talk with Grace.
We need to get Grace, and we will get her in. All right. Go ahead and sit down here, Grace. You're going to be looking up here at the camera.
Hello,
Okay.
Grace.
Look up here.
Hello, Grace.
You're gonna
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Hey, I'm looking at the radios behind you. Is that a Go kit?
This is the Go kit, and if Chris is still watching, it's an all Yaesu Go kit. We have the FT991, which is an incredible radio, and the FT8800R, which is also an incredible radio. The kids did 90% of the work on putting it together. We've got one more piece of equipment we got to put in it. At Dayton, we were able to finally get MFJ to come up with a battery booster. They had been back ordering on those, but they finally got one built and sent it to us that will go in so that the solar power supply will have enough juice to keep the radios running. Now, Grace, there is something here. There's this red microphone here. What is that all about? Where did that come from?
Well, at Dayton, at the youth farm, I won that at one of the prizes.
You won a prize at the youth forum.
Yeah, and
cool.
Is anything special about it being red?
Yes.
What?
Because red is my favorite color.
Okay.
Is that a PR10?
I'm sorry?
What kind of mic is that?
That is a Heil
PR10.
PR10.
Yeah. I've got one right here with the black bass, just like that. It's a nice mic.
We need to get the right cable, either get it or build the right cable to go to the Yaesu modular connector. Nobody has one, so I may be building one so that we can get it on the air. But that's and then that'll help, I think, with getting a really good sounding signal out. But the Yaesu works well too.
So let me ask Grace a question. Grace, your call is KM4TXT. Where do you get a call? That's a neat call, TXT. Did you order that special or something?
Did you order your call special, or how did you get it?
Well, actually, I've never gotten a vanity, and that just was the one that popped up in the database.
Do you like TXT? I think it's kind of neat.
Yeah, I like it.
So when you upgrade, are you going to try to change your call?
You going to change your call when you upgrade?
I don't know.
You know, I have the same call I had since I was 16 years old. I dropped one letter out. I was WA5, and I dropped the A out. So I kept the call. I kind of like it. A lot of people like the calls that they get. So
Mommy still has her call sign that she got 25 years ago, and Hope's got her call sign. You're dropping packets again, Tom, so it's kind of hard to hear you. But so I'll just say Grace got her license right before Dayton, and I think we may be starting the study for general here in the next month or so. You ready to study for general, Grace?
Yeah, I want to start tomorrow.
She wants to start tomorrow.
And how old is Grace? What's her age?
Grace, how old are you?
8.
Grace is 8 years old. Hope is 9. Faith Hannah is 11, and Zechariah is 13. Zechariah has a birthday coming up in a couple weeks, but he'll be an official teenager by then, I guess.
So, Grace, are you working any satellites? Are you working satellites?
Do you like to play with satellite?
I prefer doing it inside and hold the microphone because the antenna is really heavy.
Oh, yeah.
You like contests.
Grace is a contester. The kids all did K1D at field day at the Florida QSO party, and made a lot of contacts. 447 or 457 contacts during the Florida QSO party, and the bands were dead. But they had some fun with that. And Grace, at one point, she really was wanting some ice cream, but she was still operating. So what happened there, Grace? What did we do?
Well, Daddy filmed it while we were doing it, but I called CQ, and then I went over to get the bite of my ice cream that Daddy was holding right next to me. And then I called CQ another time, and then went over to eat. So
More
I
ice
bite
cream.
my ice cream.
More ice cream.
I turned for a bite.
So, hey, Grace, do you have some ham friends in Israel? Did you work them in Israel or work their station?
Did you work the station? I think he asked. Were you on the air during?
Yeah, I was on the air during the Florida QSO party.
Before you got your license.
Before I got my license.
Yeah, she had a general and 2 extras who were acting as control operators. So she was operating that way. And that'll be the same way she operates as a technician here in a couple weeks. Or, about a week and a half. And hopefully by next field day, she'll be a general. So
that'll be
working
cool.
on it. So Grace, you got anything else you want to say about ham radio, or do we bring your brother in here?
I think you should bring my sister Faith Hannah in.
No, we're going to bring Zechariah in.
I was waiting to explain everything.
We will bring we're going to bring Zechariah in. Zechariah's got some news to share. And then we'll bring Faith Hannah in here.
Well, Grace, thank you very much for being on here with us.
73.
73 to you.
Okay, let's get Zechariah in here. Grace is the master of the photobomb, and I think she just photobombed us. All right, here is.
This is the pilot. This is the airplane guy.
the airplane guy. Yeah, this is Zechariah. This is, what's your call sign, buddy?
WX4TVJ, and I just passed my extra test. And for those, I'm pretty sure somebody out there is thinking, he's just a boy, he's probably lying. Probably took his technician and failed.
Let's see it.
Proof.
So you got your extra license now. Cool.
Yeah, just passed it a few hours ago.
Yeah, less than 2 hours ago.
Oh man, you're gonna want to get on the air, aren't you?
Oh, he wants to show some things off here.
Okay.
Zechariah is getting things ready here. His love of ham radio is not so much getting on the air, but building and experimenting. So
I know one of the last times I was on this show, I showed everybody this. And for those of you who haven't seen that, it's a Heathkit GDA 405D from 1972. It was one of the world's first digital RC transmitters.
Man, that was made almost before you were born.
Yeah, it was almost made before you were born, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna. This is an antique, so I'm not gonna use it. But I have an antique, obviously, instruction manual for this radio, and it's got a schematic. So I took apart I took all the guts out of a CB 3-channel transmitter. This other one's an 8-channel. But yes, this is CB, not 2.4 gigahertz, or it was. So, as you can see, I took everything out of it. I'm going to use those schematics to build another one of these.
Okay, that'd be cool.
And size, you'll see the size, the modern one's slightly smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Heathkit, the real Heathkit, it's the parts are crammed in there, luckily. Oh yeah, this is a joystick that came out of this. I'm going to probably reuse it because looks like, well, it only came with one of these because it was a 3-channel, and this is 2 of the channels right here. Probably going to reuse it. And I'm probably going to somehow find and buy another one so I could have 4 channels, and then this case had provisions for up to 8 channels. I'm thinking Fly Zone by Hobbyco used its transmitter cases over and over again for each transmitter.
I bet you can find a lot of parts on eBay for that.
Yeah.
So hey, Zachariah, you designed an experimental plane, didn't you? Aren't you into experimental aircraft?
Yeah.
What do you name it? I forget. It's the X something.
X4Z series.
Yeah.
The largest I have planned so far is the X4Z2, while the X4Z1 is the half-sized electric-powered version. The 2 is gas-powered, or actually glow-powered, which is like gas. The main difference is the spark plug design. It's not even a spark plug, it's a glow plug. Instead of creating a spark to ignite the fuel, it gets really hot and kind of glows. That's why it's called glow plug.
I'm guessing you spend more time on airplanes than you do ham radio, is that right?
You spend more time
designing.
Ham radios, designing. Zechariah's got a book full of drawings that he's made with airplanes that he's designing. He also hangs out at the airport with some airplane manufacturers, and we'll be going over and spending more time with a place that rebuilds World War II airplanes, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, they have a P-40 there, and last time we were P-40B, and last time they were switching out the Phillips head screws with flat heads because in 1941, this actually it's a P-40C. No, well, actually, yeah, P-40B.
He knows all the airplanes.
Yeah, sounds like
the main difference is C had a drop tank, B had none. So in 1941, there was no such thing as a Phillips head screw. And until just recently, the plane had Phillips head screws, so they were making it more realistic.
Oh, okay.
So that's really, Zechariah helps me build antennas. We built a long wire antenna the other day and tried it out, and really cool. The people over at Ballon Designs, people over at Ballon Designs are helping out K1D. They're sending a couple of one-to-one chokes that we can use with the long wire and the vertical antennas to keep RF from getting into the transceiver. But Zechariah is an experimenter. He's not that big about getting on the air. Maybe now that he's an extra, he might get on the extra bands, but
Yeah.
we'll see. But I think we'll see great things coming out of him with designing airplanes and circuits. And I can tell you this, he's really good at taking apart old electronic equipment.
And new ones. Last year I took apart my old camera when it stopped my new digital camera when it stopped working. Oh yeah.
Have you taken apart anything that's new and it stopped working after you took it apart?
Did you take apart anything that was new and stopped working because of what you did?
I don't. It just stopped working. We found a white dot on the screen, probably from some sort of drop, and it started draining away electricity somehow. I don't know what happened.
You know, one of the things I want to talk about in a minute, James, maybe we'll get your wife, I think it's Michelle, in here. Someone mentioned in the chat room that they felt like you guys do homeschooling, and you do homeschooling, and maybe we can talk about that in a minute. I don't know if Michelle's going to join us or not.
It looks like Mom is on there on chatting. Your audio is really broken up here again, Tom. But we homeschool, and for the last several days, the studying for the extra class exams was school, and we'll be studying some more for extra class exam and studying for general class exam and getting the girls ready for their upgrades. And then after that, we'll see. You know, we've got a field day coming up, and Faith Hannah's got something really exciting to talk about. That's going to be happening here in about a month and a half, and we're going to have a lot of fun with ham radio this summer.
I see N7XGR is reminding me that you can use VHF and UHF frequencies on ham radio for RC. And that you have to label your call sign. I know that. This is for 6 meters. The exact frequencies this is on, and these are the old frequencies, but they're still legal. 53.4 and 0.5 megahertz.
Hey, Zachariah, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but that's 6 meters. 6 meters has been open to Europe. You think you could fly a plane to Europe?
That was one of the most popular frequencies. That was one of the 3 most popular frequencies several decades ago for several most popular bands several decades ago for RC. The others were CB and 72 megahertz, which was the most popular. But now it's all being taken over by 2.4 gigahertz spread spectrum. The main problem was a few decades ago. I don't have it on it now, but I have 2 flags that are for each of the frequencies. You had to put your flag on the tip of the antenna to let others know what frequency you're on. Each frequency had a color code. 6 meters had a black with to show that it was 6 meters. CB had white, while 72 megahertz had nothing. as the second color. The first color was just any random color for identifying the frequency.
Yeah, and they had to do that.
Here's the color codes right here. And the problem was some people didn't pay attention to the flags and started flying each other's planes. But now everybody is going on 2.4 gigahertz spread spectrum. I'm not going to have that problem.
Tom, I see somebody has asked if anybody in the family is involved with Raspberry Pi or Arduino. Not yet. Zechariah has a drone that is Arduino based, and we'll be getting into that. There are so many things that we are into that it just hasn't happened yet. But yeah, we will be getting into Arduino soon. So let's see if we can hear your audio again, Tom. See if we can hear.
Audio test 1, 2, 3.
That sounds better.
Okay, well, great. Zachariah, hey, I like your call, WX4TVJ. Same as your dad's, but J is what, junior?
Junior.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
I got
a good call.
my call sign. I don't know if we mentioned this last time. I used to be a freelance cameraman for the Weather Channel, and spent a lot of time getting in front of tropical storms and hurricanes and hailstorms and blizzards and tornadoes and whatnot. And when they came out with vanity call signs, I got my initials, W4JGL, and that was so hard to say on the air that a friend of mine, Golf Zero NEF, who is from Alistair from England, he was out storm chasing with me, and he's another cinematographer and storm chaser, and he says, what about WX4TV? I was like, well, let's see. And it was available, and I got it. So I had my initials for about a week before I said, we're going to change this real quick, because on the air, W4JGL just wasn't the way to do it. And then when Zechariah got his call sign, he was originally Kilo Mike 4 India Bravo Whiskey, IBW, right?
Yes.
KM4 IBW. And he wanted to be WX4TV J for Junior.
WX4TV Junior.
There you go. But he's far surpassing me. I think he's going to go a lot further with his technical career than I've gone. And the echo, I don't know where it's coming from. We have no browsers open here. It's I know that they're having internet connectivity issues and cell phone issues in Florida this evening, so it could be something with latency or something going on.
We'll have to look into this, because I'm not sure we had it with Chris and Frank. So we just need to test that equipment that's out there and see if there's any bugs we need to work out.
Yeah, Tom, you're back to being really hard to hear. Maybe we need to bring AE4FH into the picture here.
Yeah, let's talk to Faith
let her give her talk. What are you going to talk about here real quick?
Quickly, I'm going to show you this this Heathkit battery. It's 40 years old. Before we bought this, it said the batteries were in unknown condition, but when I heard it was 40 years old, I knew the condition already. This one's the least leaky, but we're still trying to figure out what battery it is, so we can use it in our new transmitter.
Okay. Let's let Faith Hannah come in. Tom, have you still got us? Are we still
Yeah, I still got you. Hey, Faith Hannah, hi.
Hi. Okay, so Faith Hannah, we're having a hard time hearing Tom, but so let's see. Daddy and Faith Hannah are dressed the same here. So Faith Hannah, why don't you talk about why are we dressed this way, and what's happening in about 6 weeks now?
Yeah, something like that. Like 50 days. Daddy and I are going on the Youth DX adventure to Seba, and we used to live there, and apparently where we're going to be staying and where the radios are is our old house. And at Dayton we were able to get the shirts for Seba.
So Seba is Papa Juliet 6. It's been a DXCC entity as Papa Juliet 6 since October 10th of 2010. And we'll let Hope come in real quick. Stick your head in, Hope, and make sure you can be seen on this screen. Hope is going to have to learn how to operate either with herself or with Mommy holding the antenna for satellite. Because why, Faith Anna?
Because we're going to try to work satellite down there, and Daddy can't be here to help Hope.
So the Youth DX Adventure is put on by DARA, or is affiliated with DARA at least, the Dayton Amateur Radio Association. It puts on Hamcation, or Hamvention, sorry. Anyway, Hope, you don't need to keep slipping in Hope's photo about me here. There's going to be 3 kids and 3 parents, and as well as 3 other adults, and we'll be on HF and on satellite as well. Hope.
Well, all right.
Somebody said.
What bands does Faith Hannah like operating? What bands does Faith Hannah like to operate?
All right, I think you're asking what bands does Faith Hannah like to operate. Faith Hannah, what do you like to do on ham radio?
Well, I like to contest.
What bands?
Basically all of them.
That's a good answer. All of them. Yeah.
What are the bets that Zechariah will someday be an astronaut? I don't think Zechariah will be an astronaut, but he will probably design the engine for the rocket that takes that astronaut to Jupiter. So,
or maybe even Pluto.
Here, Faith Hannah, let's talk about this cool looking little thing here. And the radio is not in transmit; it's not in the break-in mode. What is this thing sitting here?
Well, this is a custom-made N3ZN key that he gave me. I'm not sure exactly why he gave it to me, but he asked me what my favorite color was, and apparently he had a pink key behind his back, and he was hoping I would say pink, so he could just hand the pink one, but I said turquoise, and he was like, oh, will you be here at Dayton?
Yeah, so we got to Dayton, and N3ZN had made a really nice set of paddles for Faith Hannah.
How many
and she didn't
kids
get to use them because I didn't have the right cord to hook it up to the rig, but I was headed to Washington, D.C. a couple weeks ago, and Faith Hannah and I did something that I needed to not be here to help her with CW for. What was that we did?
A CW contact with each other.
So we had our first CW contact with each other on 30 meters, which was really cool.
So
Faith
what kind of
the
speed?
Other kids are teaching themselves code and wanting to keep that part of the hobby alive, and that's really cool to see that that's happening, and that N3ZN saw that spark in her and supported it. I'm not saying this to plug him, or well, I am. I'm saying it to plug him. But what happened was we were at Hamcation, and Faith Hannah was playing with these keys. And Julio, AD4Z, who was the CW champion of the Radio Sport Olympics, he and another guy were probably doing, I don't know, 60, 70 words a minute using these keys. And Faith Hannah, what did you do when, remember how you introduced yourself to him?
Well, neither of us knew who he was, but Daddy said to tap him on the shoulder and do a QRS, so I did.
So Faith Hannah told him to QRS, and then they had some conversations, and he shared some of his contesting.
How to win the contest information.
How to win the contest with her. 595? 595? 595?
He said don't even tell you.
Yeah.
So, Faith Hannah, what kind of... Let me turn this down a little. What kind of speed do you operate CW? What's your speed on CW?
What's your speed right now?
I can probably operate at around 25 to 30 words a minute, but I can't copy that fast.
Wow. That is so cool. They're asking about a Facebook page. You want to tell them you guys have got a neat Facebook page up.
Okay, yeah, on Facebook, there's a group called Ham Radio for Kids of All Ages, and all you got to do is ask to join. It is a private group because we are, just wanting to make sure that the people who get in are actually hams or kids who are interested in hams. Adults are obviously allowed in, but we're not going to have just anybody come in. But it's a Ham Radio for Kids of All Ages. And yeah, if you look at that, I will, when we're done with the webcast, when we get off, if the chat room will stay open, Tom, I will go, or actually, I think Michelle is on there. If you can, Michelle, if you can go to that page and then, copy the URL and you can put it into the chat room, and then people can the Ham Radio for Kids of All Ages. So that's a group that we just started, and hopefully we'll get more people to start posting in there and showing kids. And this is a hobby that I've been in since I was 13 years old, way back in the 80s, and it is directly responsible for me to get into television and filmmaking, and it's been enabled me to meet people around the world. And our kids got into it. Michelle originally got Zechariah involved because we knew that he wanted to be an airplane designer, and we thought that the stuff that he would learn with ham radio and building stuff and hands-on might help him with radio, or with airplanes. And then the girls got into it, Faith, Hannah, and Hope, and just really started taking off on it. And it's been kind of fun, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it actually happened that they thought that Zechariah would like to do ham radio, but then I decided to start studying the same day he did, and actually I passed my tests a couple minutes before he did. Oh,
so officially Faith Hannah has been a ham longer than Zechariah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My call sign was issued the one before his, so
yeah.
Really, yes.
All right. Are we going to get to meet Mom tonight?
We'll see if we can get Mom to come in here. I think she's in there doing chat room, but she may be able to come in.
I'm going to post this thing.
She's going to post the Facebook page, and then we'll get in there. She'll get in here, and we'll talk as well. So, Tom, it's kind of hard to hear, but I'm going to look through.
Well, I think we're doing good. You're doing good reading the chat room and answering questions.
Yeah. So Ben, K1D, we're not going to be doing PSK 31. We're not going to be doing any digital modes. We're not going to be doing any digital modes on field day. We don't have the ability to do that yet. The kids made the Go box, and it is CW and voice, and say goodbye to Faith Hannah and say hi to November 8th.
I'll say 73 to Faith Hannah.
What?
Enjoyed it.
Hope wants to get out, so we'll let Hope cross. Just say crossing.
And now we have Michelle N8ZQZ. Michelle, were you a ham first? Were you the first ham in the family?
No.
No?
James was. I surprised him when we were dating by getting my license.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any help or anything. I just studied on my own and took the test.
So did you have a brother or sister that was a ham?
Do I know?
No? Okay. I was trying to think back. I was trying to think back how you guys met. I thought it was something to do with ham radio.
No. So when we were dating, I was living in North Carolina. She was living in Ohio, and she knew I was really into this crazy thing with the dits and das and the people that sounded like Donald Duck. And, I'd work at an island or a DX station and be like, yeah! And she just didn't get it, I guess. And so right before we got married, she moved to North Carolina, and I was we were at a ham radio breakfast one morning, and I went out. I was told I needed to go out to the car to get something. I guess maybe you had forgotten something or left something in the car. And the next thing I know, this lady calls me and says,
It was the guys to get you away.
the guys wanted to get me away. Anyway, this lady calls me, and I forget what call sign I had back then, probably KA4UBN. This is N8ZQZ.
Yeah.
And I said, hi, my name is James. And she goes, this is Michelle. And I remember thinking, I may have actually said it, I was like, sweetheart, don't you know that it's against the law to use a fake call sign? And that was a total surprise to me. She did it all by herself and got her license, and hasn't really been active. We were kind of active. I was active right up until, about 2003, when Hurricane Isabel took our house apart on the Outer Banks, and that was the end of my ham career until the kids got back into it, I guess 11 years later. I guess maybe I was on 2 meters and when I was storm chasing, but no HF for about 11 years.
Well, I just want to say one thing. Your kids are probably the sharpest, smartest kids I've seen, and I think it's due to homeschooling. And I don't have to ask who is the main homeschooling person there. I know, James, you're not it. You're always doing other things. You're working, and she's working on homeschooling. That's probably even a bigger job. But a wonderful job with homeschooling.
It's easy to do. All you got to do is just find what they love to do and run with it.
And you've
They
made
do a whole lot. They teach themselves pretty much.
and you've made ham radio a part of the homeschool, right?
We have. I felt that last year, Zechariah, I really hadn't thought of it earlier, but I thought that Zechariah would learn a lot by just learning the theory behind the wiring and how the antennas and everything work, that it would help him in his designs of airplanes that he wants to do. I know that eventually that's what he's going to do, and I thought that it can't hurt him to learn all that, and it's going to only improve what he already knows. And then Faith Hannah, who's our competitor, said, "Oh, Mommy, can I do that too?" And I said, "Sure. I'm not going to hold you back."
Wow.
And about 2 weeks later, Hope decided she wanted to do it. So I thought, great, let's go for it.
Well, again, a great job. We're looking forward to working with you guys with the K1D field day in a couple weeks. That's going to be really exciting. James and Michelle, is there anything else you'd like to talk about tonight before we close the program and we move on to our informal part of the show? Anything you want to say?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that there's the kids' weekend is coming up this weekend also, so they're going to be on the air this weekend. We're going to probably go to the park and get on the air this weekend also to help prepare them for field day the following weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, the ARRL is doing Kids Day. They do it a couple times a year, and it's this Saturday. I think it's actually in the afternoon. We will be going, I haven't got permission yet, but I think we'll get it. We'll be going to a EAA Young Eagles flight, which is where the Experimental Aircraft Association gives kids rides in airplanes for free to get them interested in aviation. And where we're going will be at Spruce Creek, which is a private fly-in. Everybody's got huge hangars with airplanes in their backyards here in near New Smyrna Beach, Florida. And we'll be over there, and there's a couple hams over there that we will be talking to see if we can get permission to bring the Go Box and a couple antennas and set it up and see if we can get some kids on the air during field day. The other thing is, I'll just put out the call. If anybody's in Central Florida or Georgia, or if you're in Israel and you got money and you want to fly over here on a whim to bring your kid and get them on the air, hint, hint, to somebody who should be listening for 6 Tango Tango. Or if you're in Barcelona, actually those two guys will be at Friedrichshafen, so they won't be here for field day. But bring your kids out wherever you are. If you have a field day, and you know a kid that might be interested, bring them and their parent or their grandparent or uncle and aunt out and let them get on the air. And if a spark happens, let the parent or the grandparent see the spark. Because so often, you know, we're reaching out to kids in schools as a hobby in general, reaching out in schools and Boy Scouts, and, you know, the parents don't get it. And when the parents don't get it and don't support it, we lose the child. You know, that has happened time and time again that I've seen. And if the whole idea with K1D, we want to get the parents out there and let them see the child. You know, if we get 3 children on the air and one of them, the bug bites them, or if we get 101 the bug bites or more, we want to have the parents see,
or the grandparent,
see that spark and see that this is really something that should be encouraged, and to have them get involved with them. Because I think if you get them involved like we did, it's going to be, first of all, it's great for the family. You know, we've done national park activations and state park activation, even though that's not really something that is official, but the kids like doing it, and it's stuff you can do together. Mm-hmm. And as Alan's movie, Hello Perfect Stranger, what a way to get to know about the world and to get to know about other cultures and other people. And when you're talking to a perfect stranger on the radio, and then you look up and you see that, wow, she's in Saudi Arabia, like Faith Hannah, and you look up her call sign and you realize she's one of 2 women who have their licenses in Saudi Arabia. And then that opens up the conversation of why is that? Why don't more women have it?
I'll add that ham radio is a great tool for homeschooling. I mean, Faith Hannah especially I started seeing it in her, in that she would speak to somebody from another country and she would say, Mommy, where's that country? And we would go look it up in the encyclopedia, or we would go look it up on the internet, and we would find out where it is. And then she wanted to know what language do they speak, and if it was a language she somehow got excited about. She said that she wanted to learn Gaelic, and I was like, great, let's go learn Gaelic. And she, wow. I think she's up to 5 languages she's teaching herself just because of ham radio for a lot of this, because she wants to be able to converse a little bit in the other person's language. So it's been a great tool to go look up on maps where all these countries are and learn the languages. So, you know, besides all the science and antenna work and everything, there's so much that fits within the homeschool realm, I guess I'll say, to educate the children.
Well, again, thank you very much for being on here with us tonight. I think there was a lot of interest in your story and your kid's story. We'll be watching for you maybe next weekend on the kids' field day. And we are looking forward to our own field day webcast that you guys are going to help us with from Florida.
Yep, that's going to be fun. Tom, let me respond to a couple questions here real quick. Somebody, my eyes are so bad, KJ4UCE, take the kids to Sun and Fun or Oshkosh. We went to Sun and Fun every day. We were down there with a friend of ours who Zechariah and the kids hang out in his hangar with a program called the Broken Wing Project, and they are taking combat wounded veterans who are amputees and teaching them how to fly. So Zechariah actually got to meet if anybody goes to WX4TVJ's QRZ page, you'll see his QSL card has a World War II warbird on it. And he got to meet that pilot, Jim Tobel, I think his name is. And he's actually a ham, and gave Zechariah permission to use that photograph. And then Zechariah got to meet him, and they handed him a handheld, and they did a QSO right there on the tarmac before he flew his routine in the air show. And Zechariah gave him, a QSL card with a picture of his airplane on it. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, let me show you. Let me switch cameras here real quick. There's Walter. That's KJ4UCE you just mentioned, and Walter's with us tonight. And Walter's a wide-body pilot. He flies the A300. So we're going to probably talk about airplanes in the hangout in the next segment here.
Yeah, you know, Tom, I'll probably try to get into the hangout. We got to get the kids to bed. Wow.
Okay.
It's past bedtime. But is Michelle wanting to say something else?
No, go ahead.
I'll see if we can get in the hangout and we can chat some more if anybody has any questions about.
We homeschool. We don't have to get up in the morning.
Well, we just had a malfunction on Skype. So, guys, let me do this. I'll just wave goodbye. Bye bye. We'll see you later. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Well, we had a malfunction. Boy, it actually lasted until just right about the end of the show there. Okay, well, hey, we're probably, I see Robert at WBCQ just joined us. I know we're probably off the air now at WBCQ. I want to thank Alan Wiener, owner of WBCQ, and Robert there at the board ops at WBCQ up in Monticello, Maine for putting us on shortwave tonight and letting our broadcast go around the world. We really appreciate it. Robert, thanks so much. And we're going to go to Hangout now, and we usually have regulars. Hangout is where you can join our show with video and audio. We can take up to 10 people at a time. And it's just a very informal part of the show. We just sit around and we talk about anything, and hey, sometimes it gets very interesting. Again, hey, coming up next week, we've got astronaut Doug Wheelock is going to be with us, coming in from Star City, Russia, the secretive city, Star City, Russia, where they train all the cosmonauts. Doug is over there as the director of NASA, and he'll be there for 6 months. We're going to wake him up at 4 in the morning in Russia to be on our show next week. And then I need everybody's help. If you have a field day, contact me. Let's get together. Send an email to tom@w5kub.com. And I want to get you on. Our field day show is going to be the 25th, Saturday 25th. We're going to have 2 hours from K1D down in Florida, the youth field day is going to be on, and then we're going to switch back to the Memphis studio here, and then we're going to have field day locations around the country calling in by Skype or telephone and talking about their operations. So it'd be so cool to get your field day operations on the webcast, and hey, you'll get an extra 100 points to your score to your total score if you'll just call in and be on the show. That's about it. So let me get Hangout cranking here, and let's see who's going to join us tonight. So I'll be right with you. All I have to do is find the right. Oh, we hadn't posted a link yet. Did Kathy post a link? Okay, very good. Okay, Kathy's posted the link. The link is always in the topic at the above of the chat room. So, excuse me. So you always should be able to find that link up here. And let me see. Walter, you can come around here and you can sit here at the table and join us here. Let me see if I can get in. You don't have to get in over there, Walter. Let's see, Hangout. Oh, you can just leave it on. That's okay. Let's see, choose an account. Oh, boy, I guess it's that one. Okay, yeah, you have to bring a chair around. And I will scoot over here. See if we can get you in there. Oh, okay. Let's see. Does he? All right, I'm having trouble getting into Hangout tonight. Let's see. Let me try it again. Oh, you know what? I've got too many keyboards and too many mouses, right? I've got 4 mouses. No, I don't need that keyboard. I don't need that one. I don't need that one. I gotta log in over there. So let me. No. I'm just gonna reach over and get it here. There we go. You know, it makes a lot of difference, man, when you're on the right keyboard, doesn't it? Yeah, let's see what we got here. Update. Do you want to update? No, yeah, I guess so. Join Hangout.
When he was doing the interview, we could hear fine, but Tom always had that echo.
Yeah, he did it. That was.
I don't know where the echo was coming from. We had no other browsers open, and our we're using my broadcast cinema camera, and using the audio from that, and there was
microphones.
Echo.
Yeah, you and your family were coming across just clear, but every time Tom talked, he had that echo.
So we're on now.
Oh, that's probably, yeah, okay. That probably was us because we were listening to him. Yeah, I would have tested that better had we not had 49 people get shot, and that took up a lot of my time.
That's okay. I think we managed to get through the show okay without any real problems there. Let's see. There we go. We're on. So we don't have any echo now, right? Everybody's okay.
All right. Hey Tom, how are you?
Doing. Can you hear me? Do you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we hear you, Tom.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
Very good. Well, James, we heard you guys fine. It just obviously it's just that my part was echoing to whenever I talked to you.
That was my fault. I didn't understand that was what they were talking about.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. But
your video, your audio was just coming through so choppy. But I've seen a lot of posts on the internet that Verizon's been having lots of issues with Florida this evening.
I bet.
We've got a 300 megabit connection here at the house, and it's 300 up and down, and we shouldn't have any issues with streaming or hearing you.
That should work.
Who do you get that from?
That's coming from Bright House.
Bright House, I'm not familiar. Is that Fios?
No, it's not Fios. I wish it were. Fios has been a little bit better, but I know that they said that the internet's just been having issues down in Florida.
Well, I'm happy with my 100 megs. Of course, it's asymmetric. I got 100 down and 12 up, but I'm fairly satisfied with it.
Well, we're moving for work. We're moving, like today I had to feed a video file to somebody that was 75 gigabytes. So we moved, and it got to them, so we'll see how long it takes them to download it.
Tom, say. Well, there we go. We got some harmonics distortion here.
All right. Well, we've got Walter. Let's see. Well, you can see Walter on my picture-in-picture up there. We're not seeing Walter there.
That's okay.
I got Walter with me here. Walter, of course, he's our pilot, so he's the one that put the Oshkosh. Is that how you say it?
Oshkosh. You and Walter just have to squeeze in close together.
How do we mute Jerry here? I don't want to do that.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
But yeah, hey James, your part came through really well. I think your audio was clear. Your picture was really solid. I think it did okay. I just tried not to ask many questions, or when I did, I tried to talk slowly.
All right. Well, when we do this thing for Field Day, obviously we'll be kind of hosting it. If you do a date, we shouldn't have the audio feedback issues. And, that's going to turn out really, really good. We can. I don't know if we're going to do it straight to your server or if we'll do it.
Well, no. What we'll do, you guys will go straight. You guys will go straight to our YouTube channel. We won't be on video at all. I mean, I won't have any connection with you. I'll be in a chat room, but that'll be it.
I think that'll work out, and hopefully, by the time we get going there at 4 o'clock, there'll be a good crowd, and we'll have moms and dads and kids and people like that on the air.
Yeah, I hope so, and I think we can really make the second part of the show work really well too, with having field days around the country call in. I just got to get the word out. I don't know how I'm going to get it out. I mean, but I can send a mailer out and I can post it on Facebook. It requires a little bit of effort on the other person's part, to contact me and say they're going to be a part of it. My only concern is we may not get that many people join us. I know Katie is going to join us out in Montana.
Wyoming.
Well, it sounds like Katie.
I'm sorry. Out in Wyoming, right? Wyoming.
Right. Yeah, she's in Wyoming.
All right. So who do we know then? Okay.
Tom can never remember where anybody's at.
Okay. So who do we know then in Montana then that could do this for us? Who do we know?
What? Not me.
Anybody on here?
Yeah, Montana's a pretty big state, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, William, what are you going to be doing field day?
I'm going to be out in the backcountry doing field day with our contest group.
Well, can you call in a show or something?
No, we won't have cell service out there.
Oh, man.
We're off the grid, man.
You're a party pooper. I like who's that? Teresa on here. I like her again. I like this.
I like that.
Man, I was going to order that software, but I want something a little bit more. I want something a little more masculine than that.
You can do a show like that to be just kind of mellow.
Like Spider-Man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, Teresa. Blink your eyes a couple times. Let's see you blink your eyes. Blink your eyes. There you go.
Wow. All right, Teresa, show your face. Get rid of the animation. Come on.
I want to do that. I want to do a whole show one night like that.
Where do you get that?
You could do Elvis.
Yeah, can you get Elvis in that thing? Oh.
Where do you get this software? I'm curious.
Let's see.
You can't talk to Teresa. Can you tell you're muted? Or did I mute you?
So let me see. For our viewers to watch, I've got to be here.
Oh, she gone.
Huh?
Oh, you scared the little foxy away.
Yeah, you scared her away.
And
then let's see.
You know what? It was probably that guy.
And that puts us there. Let's see. You just got to scoot over so a little bit more if you're going to get in the picture.
Teresa was probably a man.
If that was a guy, they may have been filming at Target.
It could be, or Walmart.
No, Teresa has spoken before.
Yeah. So hey, I saw Doc said he was going to bed early. So Doc didn't join us tonight. He's probably getting tired of all the medical questions all us old guys are asking him.
I wanted to see Doc. They took a biopsy of my possible little skin cancer here yesterday, and boy, I wanted to have his opinion on that. No.
Yeah. Well.
No, he's not here.
Well, the last time I hit him up on the air, with that red spot on my arm, and he didn't know what it was, and I figured it was the MIG welding the day before. So, I don't know, I might have hurt his feelings.
Yeah. He's going to start billing us, you know that.
No, I've spoken with him through email and on the phone, and he's okay. He just makes it clear that we don't have a medical relationship, and that anything that he's telling us is just information only. And I just want to make that clear to everyone here. It is just for information only. It's not a medical diagnosis or anything else like that. So, nice guy.
He's got to be careful there. He's got to be careful. He's licensed in Tennessee, and you're up in New Jersey, man.
Well, he's got to worry about his malpractice and all that. I mean, you know, he has to be careful, of course.
He can't answer my questions in Michigan.
Not up in Michigan, man. You're too far north. He won't answer your question.
Lady is back. Well, say something, Foxy Lady.
She's back.
She's back. All right. Now she's
gone. She's left again. Y'all scared her away.
I keep scaring her away.
Every time Jess says something, she runs away.
Who else on here can I get a commitment from on field day to call into the show?
On field day?
Yeah.
Call into your show at what time?
Man, you must not watch the show.
No, but I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I'll tell you what, it was a little difficult.
Wasn't paying any attention. That's 3 demerits right there. Okay, here's the deal. From about 4 to 6 Eastern, Saturday, field day, we're going to be live with K1D, the youth field day down in Florida. And then at 6 p.m. Eastern until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock p.m., we're going to be coming to everybody from this studio here in Memphis or Collierville, and we're going to have people call in from field day events around the country. They can call in by phone. They can send me a picture, say hello. If they can use their mobile phone and do Skype, we'll put them on. They can give us a little tour of their field day operation. But I've got to line up some. Some people, because if I'm on 2 hours and I get one group calls me, I'm gonna have to do a lot of makeup talking.
Right.
Yeah, that won't be doing field day.
Let me think about it, Tom. I mean, I'll be on the beach that day if the weather's right, and I can come back to the house down the shore, and I can around 6 or 7 or so.
But you won't be at field day, right?
I won't be at field day, but I can be making field day contacts with my remote station with the maestro, and I can certainly show that.
I see Teresa's posted in the chat room that she's got a problem with her sound. She's going to try getting back.
Her sound went kaput.
Yep, kaput. Yeah, I've had a lot of things.
Is that a German word? Kaput?
Yeah.
That's German?
Kaput? Yeah, kaput's a good word. Yep.
Yeah.
And using face rig.
No, I won't be able to participate in our field day here because I got a bus run. We got the Vietnam Memorial Wall, that moving wall, here in Marquette that day, and I got a bus run. I'll be picking people up and bringing them to that wall, so I won't be able to be participating in field day.
Hey, I got an idea. Another first, Walter. Walter. You're not going to be flying on Saturday, are you? Field day?
I think I'm going to be in Ohio.
Are you?
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you were up there in that 8300, you could call me on your cell phone, and I could put you on the show.
How about that?
It
won't work. It won't work that high.
Well,
we'd have to be flying down low.
You'd have to. Well, couldn't you just bring in kind of low for just for a phone call and
just like over the city and circle around a while.
Yeah, circle the city. Yeah. I mean, it's just an Airbus, right?
That's exactly right. Nobody would notice.
How much fuel would that use to circle maybe once or twice? The area here, would that use a lot?
Fair amount.
Just a circle?
Well, in 20 minutes, probably 3,000 or 4,000 pounds.
My goodness. Well, all right. We better go to a different plan.
Let's make it quick. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not going to work. Okay.
So in 20 minutes, how much does 3,000 or 4,000 pounds of fuel cost?
How much it cost?
Well,
you buy it by the pound or by the gallon? How you buy it?
Well, it's pumped in by the gallon, but we actually burn it in terms of pounds. Yeah. So 1,000 pounds is 150 gallons.
Well, see, let me figure out something. A gallon of gas weighs about 8 pounds. That's gas.
6.7.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Are you talking about gas or are you talking about JP4 or something?
No, just regular fuel.
Or weighs about 8 pounds a gallon. Gasoline's a little lighter. Or jet fuel.
Yeah. Also. Well, the jet fuel will be heavier than gas.
The 100 low leads they use 6.7. I don't know.
Oh, see, I use 6.7 in your calculations
for 100 low lead for like prop stuff. I don't know what jet fuel weighs.
Oh, okay.
Jet fuel is 6.8 pounds.
Okay, everybody. Teresa wants to try her audio.
All right, come on. Here we go.
My problem before wasn't that I didn't think that y'all'd be able to hear me. It's that I couldn't hear y'all.
Oh my goodness!
I got to get me one of those. I got to get me one of those right there.
Yeah.
What is the name of that? I
she gave it to us before, and I wrote it down.
Face rig.
Face rig.
It's face rig.
Face rig.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like kind of like a mobile rig.
Yes.
Yeah. Except for with your face.
Well,
I need rig is just a face rig. Cool.
Face rig.
Yeah, I need to get me that. I don't know if I can make it work on the show or not.
I like it. That's so cool.
All right, so we've already determined that you'd use how many pounds of fuel?
I just
circle
15 minutes down low, probably 2,000 to 3,000 pounds.
And how many pounds do you when you get a full load of fuel? How many pounds?
Maximum's about 128 to 130,000 pounds.
130,000.
We don't ever fly full though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you don't want to land with a full tank of fuel, right?
It's like 19,000 gallons.
Well, you know the time the guy hijacked our DC-10.
Right, 704 flight.
And he was going to crash it here. Now that plane was full, but they were going to fly from here to California.
They were going to San Jose.
Yeah. So he had a full tank. He was going to.
It would have been closer to full. It wouldn't have been full, but it'd been closer.
Yeah. I've talked to some of our pilots that fly the 767? 777s. They tell me there's no such thing as too much fuel unless you're on fire.
That's exactly right.
Is that a true statement?
That's exactly right.
Unless you're going to land and you're on fire, I mean, why would you? You want as much fuel as possible.
Well, if I'm on fire, I don't care. I'm not worried about the landing. We're getting down and getting out.
Really? So if you don't care how much fuel's in your aircraft as long as you get down, that makes sense.
If we're on fire,
you just don't want to fly around, right? If you're on fire.
That's exactly right.
I mean, you might be lucky and have somebody like me riding in the back there. I did take the jump seat test, and I do know where the 3 fire extinguishers were.
Good.
Well, yeah, they'll help.
Yeah. There you go.
3 fire extinguishers are going to help. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, couldn't you just kind of open the door and take a real steep dive, and let the vacuum put the fire out or something? Couldn't do that?
No, you're gonna ride it till the end.
Oh man! So
how far will a plane fly when it's on fire?
How far? As far as the engine will take it. No. Well,
you'll go as far as the side of the crash.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Yeah,
we'll be the first ones there.
Well, I'll just stick to driving my bus. If I run out of fuel, I just kind of coast to the side.
And you'll beat the ambulance there.
That's exactly right. We'll be the first ones to the scene of the accident.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some scary stuff. How often do you fly?
How often?
Oh, on average, about half the month.
Half the month. So wow.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's a pilot. We all, when I worked there, we all understood the pilots had it made, right? You get the big bucks. You don't have to work but a few days a month.
No, that's management.
So I heard.
We actually get out there and get it done.
Yeah.
I've heard that pilots don't make a whole lot of money. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and that doesn't make sense to me.
I've been thinking a lot about astronauts and their pay and stuff, and
there we go.
There's Jill. Hey, Jill. You know what an astronaut pay is? It's like $60,000 to $110,000 for an astronaut
per flight.
No, per year.
We actually get out there and get it done.
Someone's got a browser window open.
Yeah. Let's see who it is.
Stuff going on, and that doesn't make sense.
That's Jill. Yeah, she fixed it.
I muted her.
All right.
All right. So, are you going to upgrade to a bigger plane? Or
no.
Is the 300 is not the biggest plane, right?
No. It's the biggest Airbus, but that we have, but it's not the biggest one we have in our fleet.
Someone's got a browser window open.
Got another browser open somewhere.
I think Jill is letting audio come back. Jill, do you have the video window open The webcast.
I think I just closed it.
Okay, that was what it was. It was coming back to us.
Okay.
So, all right, you got any interest in moving up to the 777?
No.
Do they make more money?
Yes.
They do. Why? Bigger airplane?
It's the way they're paid and the time they're gone and the amount of time that they're gone. And, you know, I have no interest in going 15 hours from Memphis to Dubai.
That ought to be a much easier job. You don't have to do as much landings, right? You can fly from here to Australia without stopping.
You ought to see those guys.
Yeah.
I got to ask you a question about flying that far. I mean, if you're going to fly from, say, you said Memphis to Dubai.
Yeah.
How do you stay awake and how do you keep yourself? I mean, because the plane's going to fly itself for most of the flight, correct?
Correct.
How do you just keep yourself busy and like aware of what's going on?
The under the Part 121 rules, any flight over 8 hours, you have to have a third crew member, and if you exceed 12 hours, you have to have a completely separate crew to go with you. It's an augmented crew. So you would actually only work half the time.
Well, I tell you how you do it. I flew once to Europe on a 10, and the pilot got up. He made me sit in the left seat over the Atlantic, and he left for an hour and a half. I think he went and took a nap.
He did.
Are you kidding me?
He did. He told me just don't touch nothing. I said, well, okay, I ain't gonna touch nothing. But I mean, there was a co-pilot over there. He was probably reading a book or something. But I mean, you know, I was in the left seat there probably almost 2 hours.
Did you qualify to do that?
I didn't get to log the time or even ask for the money or anything.
Are you
get catering?
Are you a licensed pilot?
No, I'm not.
Me either.
And I don't understand. How did he have you sit? All right, never mind.
We could ride on the airplanes, and he told me just to get up there and sit in the seat, and he got up. But you know, these pilots, you know, I noticed over the years I flew with them, they always messed with each other. You know, one would get up and he'd go to the bathroom, and then the co-pilot, he'd start flipping switches and buzzers and, you know, like trying to scare the guy back in the bathroom. You ever done that?
Oh no, I wouldn't dream of doing stuff like that.
Oh man, hey, you know, one time we flew down to Puerto Rico, and we waited out there 2 hours. We were delayed 2 hours because we needed a life raft. You believe that?
Yeah.
All right, so we waited 2 hours before they brought us a life raft, and we took off, man. And hey, it was kind of sunny right before that, but the 2 hours we waited, it kept getting blacker and blacker, and the storm was coming in. And we took off, and I don't know what the angle is, but that 10 climbed pretty steep. And hey, before we even got, I bet you before we even got 4,000 feet off the ground, I don't know if it was maps or whatever it was, the guys had opened up the maps and stuck them in the window. I guess to keep some sunshine from coming through. And they started eating their food.
Either that or looking out scares them.
You know, they started breaking up in the box and eating their food. And,
yeah.
I mean, we were still going up, man. No, that's not automatic.
Tom, you had a great show tonight. Appreciate it. I'm going to go to bed.
All right, man. 7-3. We'll see you.
Take care, Jeff. We'll see you.
7-3, guys.
7-3.
Night.
Night. Night, Foxy.
That's so cool. Oh well, hey, yeah, we need to get Zachariah down here one time, and you can slip him out to the airport and stow away in one of the A300s.
Somebody's tried that, didn't they?
I don't know.
A few weeks ago, yes.
Did they?
Somebody,
I haven't heard that.
Somebody fell asleep on board. One of the handlers fell asleep.
Oh,
and
man.
woke
was he
up
down in the?
No, he was in the back in. Fortunately, he was up on the upper deck.
Wow.
And he fell asleep and started knocking on the cockpit door about halfway down there. And got.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something. Yeah. You know, I really never had any real problems. I mean, we carried plane loads of bees. You know, bees. I remember carrying plane loads of chickens one time, little chickens, and a bunch of them we got out of their boxes, and they were running up and down inside the airplane here.
That didn't sound good.
Somebody dropped something.
That's Zechariah unplugging the wire.
Did he fall down?
I hope he didn't break his
joystick.
Remote control, airplane remote control there.
No.
No, that was Zechariah doing his getting his laptop unplugged.
Oh man, hey, get me talking about laptop. I bought a brand new i7 laptop for the webcast. I got it yesterday. It had a defect in it. When you push the screen back, the screen goes black. So after 2 hours of getting a runaround today on the phone, finally they told me I had to send it back. They're going to give me a refund, and I've got to order a new one now.
They wouldn't just send you a new one?
No.
That's too easy?
Yeah. Oh, well. Now, I'm looking at, that's Faith Hannah there, isn't it?
That is Faith Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see her.
Hi, Faith Hannah.
Did she get any, does Faith Hannah get a little bit extra leniency on curfew?
Little liberty for curfew?
No, they're all still up, I think. That's the cool thing about homeschool. You don't have to get up to go to school tomorrow.
Now, do y'all do that year round?
We do. If I am working, they're doing school. If I'm off, they typically get to take a day off.
Oh, that's cool.
I bet they do a lot of cheering for you to have days off.
Yeah.
Even when I'm off, it's still school because, when you homeschool, it's a lifetime of learning. And we officially do school all year long. So we get a lot more than the requisite 180 days that the state requires. But it also keeps you from having to remediate a bunch of stuff at the beginning of the year.
I understand. That's exactly right. But having read the curriculum that went by in chat, I would not have done very well.
What's a curfew?
What's a curfew?
What's a curfew? Maybe that's an old term. I don't know. It might be outdated.
Are we dating ourselves?
Something that tells us old people we need to go to bed.
Oh, I thought I called it curfew. I thought you had a different name for it.
What?
Curfew is when you need to be home, in bed, and keep yourself from being in trouble.
That's right.
Yes, you get home before your wife, you get in trouble with your wife.
My teenage daughter is very familiar with curfew.
When you get the whole family involved, though, with ham radio, then the wife's with you.
And you see, by letting her stay up tonight and be on here with us, she learned a new word tonight. Curfew.
Yep.
Yes.
Curfew.
That's right. So we get credit for vocabulary.
That's right.
We're watching what we talk about here today. Now.
Yeah, we better.
Yeah, you guys need to watch what you talk about because you never know who's listening.
Well, we usually don't talk about too bad of things.
Oh, you were talking about red spots and stuff on your arm with the doctor the other day, and he ran him off.
Oh, yeah, but I did. I had a big old red spot right there on my arm, man. It looked like
I got that one on my forehead right there. That's why I wanted to
looked like I had that before.
Yesterday, so.
It was some kind of virus on my arm, and I had to take antibiotics, and I was afraid that, after a year or two it was going to come back. And I finally realized it was from my welding, my MIG welder. I gave me a sunburn there.
If Doc's here, maybe we just need to have a geriatric portion of Hangout.
Well, we do that. Do you know what geriatrics is, Faith Hannah?
This may be 2 words.
She's going to learn another word. Geriatrics, is that 1 word or 2 words? That's 1 word.
It's 1. Geritol's 2 words.
I've got some geritol here. So, Faith Hannah, do you know what geriatrics is?
And can you spell it?
I can't spell it.
Old people.
Yeah, your mom and dad.
Yeah. OLD.
Old people.
Now,
Old people.
Now, Walter here brought up Geritol, and I've got me a new bottle of Geritol in here.
We're going downhill fast.
I haven't started taking it yet. I haven't taken it in like maybe a year or 2. It used to really pep me up. I'd get to feeling really low, and what happened to the
But ran
camera?
somebody else off too.
Whose chair is that?
That's Jerry's.
Okay.
I think it was Jerry.
So I forgot where I was going with this.
Maybe a good thing.
When I get real run down, I could take a Geritol. What I do, I take it about 4 times a day. I don't know what the dosage is. Maybe once a day. I don't know. And it's pretty nasty tasting.
Once a week.
It's pretty nasty tasting too, man. But I take it.
There you go.
There it is, right there. Right there. Take a swig of that. Hey,
this?
I want to. Hey, that's some good stuff. Okay, Jerry, I want you to take a swig of that on the show here. Just go right here.
Not in your life.
What?
Yeah, it's about time I take one anyway.
Who is our friend with Geritol here? Who is this? Who are you?
That's Jerry, down in Dallas. Okay, yeah, okay. Pour it in a cup. Pour you a serving. Now I want y'all to watch his face now, Jerry. To make the camera come on, you got to say something right before you take it, and we want a close up of the face. Okay? All right, come on. There you go. Now, okay, let's go for it. Go for it. Go. Let's see the face. Come on, get Jerry back on. Jerry.
Is he still with us?
Come on, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm still with you guys.
Oh man, it's not that bad.
Tommy, you gotta take that with some orange juice.
Hang on a second. I'll be right back.
Oh no!
I'll go get my Geritol.
We're going downhill fast.
I'll go get my Geritol.
That makes her look like a.
You see, you start with a little humor, and this is where it winds up.
Guys, I drink this because it's pretty good, man. When I used to live in Maryland, you guys know I'm from the Caribbean, right? So when I came here to live in the U.S., I came during the winter time.
Now, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry's telling a story.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jerry.
So I went to CVS one afternoon and I found this, and I said, Geritol, it sounds like for old people. And the pharmacist says, no. You can try it. So I tried it. It was pretty much the taste not the best, but it worked for me.
I want to ask something. Why did you get such a little bottle? You know, why? I don't understand why you got.
Well, Tom, I haven't found a bigger bottle. You know what I found is this size and the tablets. No, the tablet doesn't work for me for some reason. But if I take this and I buy them by I can't get them here in Texas, so my mom sends them to me from Maryland.
Yeah, hey, it's some good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it does help. You know, it has a lot of iron and a bunch of vitamins.
Yeah, and you know what? It's 80 proof. It's 40% alcohol. It's 80 proof.
Hey, but Tom, I'll show you something.
I don't drink. Okay, I've never drank, but this is for medicinal
purposes only.
Now, you know, this stuff smells bad even with the top on.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Hey, Tom, it doesn't have more alcohol than this. Have you ever used this?
Oh, no, maybe you can't. Maybe you can't smell it. Let me open it. Oh, now get a whiff of it. Wait. I got to get the camera on. I got to get the camera on Walter here. All right, there you go.
I can smell it from over there. Woo!
Okay.
Jerry, how'd you do that?
All right, here we
go.
Walter?
No, I'm not. No,
you don't want any, Walter?
No.
You don't want any?
No.
All right, here we go. 1, 2.
I'll lock up as I leave.
All right.
I think I'd rather just take a shot at Dr. Hartley's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now.
Colonoscopy's next.
Whoa, wow. Okay. So, here's what I want everybody to do. Next week.
A lot of wet stats going on in the Lee household here.
Next week after the show. Everybody have a bottle of Geritol with them. And we're going to give it to all these kids.
Uh-oh. They better run.
Oh. Yeah,
Where are you from in the Caribbean?
I'm from Grenada.
Grenada. I was supposed to go there last week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but they found somebody who would be a cameraman for $150 a day and said they'd use him instead. I said, you're going to get what they pay for.
What were you going to do?
They were doing a TV show down there. I'm not exactly sure what they were doing, but they wanted me to be the director of photography for a TV show.
Okay.
Yep, sorry you didn't get that.
Yeah, it was going to be J3 on satellite. That was going to be fun.
Cool. They never want to pay the good guys to get a good work done, man. They always want to get the cheapies and get bad work done. That's a normal thing.
Oh, and then they'll wonder why their TV show isn't picked up. But I don't know if you heard on the show, Faith Hannah and I are going to Saba over in the Dutch Caribbean.
Well, that's a good place.
North of Grenada.
Actually, it is not about west, southwest.
Saba? No, Saba is north.
So, yeah, it is?
Yeah, it's up by St. Martin.
Oh, yeah, St. Martin. Yeah.
I'm looking at a map and I see it.
Very cool.
Yeah, you're right. It's near St. Martin. Sorry.
Yeah, we used to live there. We used to live there. Yeah, Bonaire's down there by Venezuela. We used to live in Saba, and we're going there for a day expedition in the first week of August.
Okay, cool.
Hey, you got internet
Is that why
down
you
there?
have the PJ6 on your shirt?
That's PJ6.
Yeah, I noticed. I noticed that.
Yeah, and they just got a call sign. They're going to be doing PJ6 Yankee for youth.
Okay.
James, do they have internet down here?
Oh, come on, Tom.
They have, on the island, when we lived there, Tom, they had about 3 megabits for the entire island.
Yeah.
And the national pastime in Saba is downloading illegal movies. So the internet wasn't that good, but it's been close.
The cable was all.
Yeah, and the cable was stolen from DirecTV. If you're from Grenada, you're probably used to it. Every now and then you'd see the thing come up that we figured out you have a bootleg DirecTV box, so now we're turning you off, and that usually happened about the time the Super Bowl was coming on.
Yeah,
I think actually Michelle's let us watch the Super Bowl over Skype one year.
Wow, that's
there you go.
Cool. Well, look, hey, when you get down there, if you got internet, maybe you can put them on the show one. Well, you won't. It won't be. Will you be there a Tuesday night?
We get in on. Yeah, we'll be
there
setting
for
up.
a full week.
Well, we get in on a Tuesday and leave on a Tuesday.
Oh, that probably wouldn't work.
That's gonna be hard to do.
So we may be able to do something Tuesday night. But I don't know if they'll be on the air by then. But we'll see what we can do. I mean, N6RJL, Don from the Dayton Club heads it up, and you guys are friends with him, so we may be able to get that to happen.
All right.
Okay.
Well, guys, I think it's time for the Lee family to say da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
Grace doesn't know what that means. It means
I was going
SK.
to say, can you translate that for those of us who haven't learned code yet?
Silent key, SK. Well, silent key originally meant you're going to be done and go to bed.
I don't want to die.
Yeah, it's 11.
Already
here, so we need to
become a silent key.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and get off here too. Let's see. I don't know if Kathy's still watching or not. She's probably has gone to bed. She's over in North Carolina at our house over there. Let's see. I don't see her logged in, so she's gone.
Oh, you want your peanut butter sandwich, yeah.
That's right.
You know what?
Now,
hey, let me tell you something.
He's had that Geritol. He doesn't need a peanut butter sandwich.
Let me tell you something. I've been eating this. My doctor a year ago told me I ought to get off this white bread, because it that sugar, causes sugar to form or something like that. So I got on this this nasty tasting this wheat bread, whatever. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it, man. Hey, the other day I got me a loaf of white bread, and boy, that peanut butter tastes really good on that white bread.
There you go.
Now I'm gonna go ahead I got some fresh white bread today.
And we're not going to tell anybody you did that.
And I've got a brand new fresh jar of Peter Pan Smooth.
Have you ever had any of that Nutella? You tried that?
I don't think
plain chocolate.
That's chocolate something? I mean, didn't it?
Nutella.
Nutella's a favorite with the children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to watch it if somebody has a peanut allergy because they think they're putting chocolate on their bread.
Yeah, I think it is a certain amount of peanut butter in there.
Yeah, see, I can't handle it if you mix that peanut butter with like chocolate or anything.
Hazelnuts, made out of hazelnuts.
That's what it is, hazelnuts, yeah.
But James says it's more like frosting.
Yeah, it's like,
that's
it's
not
like
a bad
frosting on your bread. That's great. She does it all
right.
the time.
So let me ask Grace. I want to ask Grace and Hope and Faith Hannah and Zachariah. Hey, the hangout after the show is pretty neat, isn't it? You guys want to be on here every week? You guys can join us. You guys can join us every week.
Yeah, that'll be after a few years, I think. Problem is by this time of night, Daddy is ready to be long in bed.
Get that stick right there. Let me show Faith, Hannah, and Hope and them my. Watch this. Hey, watch this. Look at this. Look at this, girls. Hold up.
Yeah, you already shared that.
Did you see it? How you like it? How you like it? I can go instantly to the space station.
Here's something. Next
Watch
time
it. What do you mean fishing line? Where? Look. There's no fishing line. Look.
You can't fool him.
There's no fish. Look.
Put your camera upside down so it looks like you're really in space.
See, look.
You're not even going over it. You're just going around.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? See, I'm going all around it right now. Look, all the way around.
Touch it. Let's see it fly past the camera.
See, if I had a string on here, if I hit the string, it would move. Watch this.
You're not even
getting grab it.
You're not
straight. Spin it. If it's really in space, it should spin forever.
There we go. It'll go forever.
You know, you're dealing with homeschooled kids.
It is about to stop.
You're dealing with homeschooled kids whose dad
And he can reverse it in space.
Look at there. It's going backwards.
Their dad is in television, and they sit there and watch him edit all those special effects in.
Oh, man.
No, well, you're out of luck.
All right.
All right.
Well, I guess we can't fool them. We can fool
Star Wars with the
We can fool some of the people some of the time, right?
Literally.
Hey, yeah, you know, hey, we had a really cool thing happen. It was about 2 years ago now. So we did a thing in Virginia Beach where we did a filmmaking summit. And we got a guy named Bruce Logan. Hey, sweetheart, we got a guy named Bruce Logan to come and do some talking about green screen. And Bruce was the guy who blew up the Death Star.
Really?
Literally. He did all the explosions and he watched Star Wars in our living room with the kids and paused the DVD every time something blew up.
Hi to the guys.
Little girl.
Well,
wow.
You need to get her out.
Of course, we don't. Yeah, we don't use green screen here. Everything we do is real. No green screen here.
Hey, you know, are you going to be able to use After Effects to get that lightning in, or is God going to have to do it himself?
See, no green screen here.
Oh, look at that.
I knew it.
Yeah, hey, just real quick for the girls and the boys there. This is Studio 6. And there we are. This is Studio 2 right here. Studio 2 and Studio 6. How you like that?
That's just pretty cool. What about you want to impress me? I want to see you on the space shuttle as it takes off.
As it takes off. Okay, well.
And I want to see you as it lands the way that Slim Pickens was on that bomb and that.
Yeah, I can sit on that bomb and ride it down. Of course, I have to take my hat and go yeehaw, on the way down. But give me till next week and I can arrange that. Hey, let me tell you.
You have 10 seconds. It actually takes 10 seconds to do it.
I'm probably letting the cat out of the bag, but my astronaut friend Doug Wheelock, and we've already planning a live show from the space station next time he goes up. So we're going to try to pull that off. NASA doesn't know about it yet, but we might make it happen.
They do now because NASA watches your show for ideas.
Yeah, they don't know it, but I told Doug, I said, hey, worst case, you can just dial a wrong number and get us, and
that would be really fun.
we can talk for a minute, man.
Take away one of the A's and it reveals
we
someone
need to
else.
get Doug back up in the space station because there are a bunch of hams here in DeLand, Florida that want to work the space station.
Yeah, he hopes he goes back up in another year to 18 months. That'll probably be his last trip. And I think the 18th of this month, we got 3 hams coming down from up there.
Really?
I don't think they've been very active. Well, I wouldn't know. They made a lot of contacts with school contacts, but I don't know about individual contacts.
Yeah, somebody posted, I think, on the AMSAT bulletin board that they heard some audio coming down with QSOs in the last week or so.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Oh, hey, how do y'all like my station right there? You like my station?
Oh, that's actually Ed's station. We know that guy.
Do you know that guy?
No, we know a guy's got a station that looks just like that, though.
Yeah.
Just like it? I've been trying to find out who it is so I can use it here. I was going to give him credit.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. There's a guy, KN4KL. I don't know if his PRZ page has any pictures of his station.
His QSL card does.
But he has got a
look at
lot.
there.
Hey, look at that.
Look at there. You know what I'm doing?
You're fox hunting.
Well, if it's on a satellite, I am.
Look at that.
How you like that? That's my tape measure and welding rod antenna.
Hope you can make one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, Daddy, where's my card?
And hey, for you kids, that's what a ham station used to look like 52 years ago.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Look at that.
So that's 52 years ago. See, we didn't have a transceiver back then. We had a transmitter and a receiver and a little long, skinny microphone.
You've given Zechariah ideas. He went running out of the room.
Yeah.
We've got sitting.
Here's my other piece kit. It's a power supply, and this is the one that piece kit.
That's cool. I tell you,
like that.
Heath Kid had some great kits.
I know, it's very heavy.
Then why'd you set it on my shoulder?
And I don't know if you watched the show last week, but this is some things not to do. Okay, can you tell me what's wrong with that, girls?
I see.
I already saw that.
Can you tell me what's wrong?
Zechariah made that mistake.
All right, now
did that himself.
y'all are probably much more computer literate, and you know what motherboards are and stuff. There, look at there. How about using that on a computer board, man?
That's what I
So you can glue your processor down, and then I don't know if you can tell what this is or not.
Oh, I know what that is.
I know.
That's
Yeah,
not a
that's
soldering
not a
iron.
They're soldering with a probe on a meter. Look at that. Not many people can do that.
Electronic and electrical engineering.
Yeah, I mean this school, they need to check
school is
things
that?
out a little bit better before they send it out. You know.
Hey Tom, which school is that?
I think it's Dallas Fort Worth area down there where you are.
Yeah, because I've seen
No,
the
I'm
first
kidding with you. I don't
picture,
know.
but
I don't know.
somewhere before.
I don't know where it is.
I would love to know which school is that. It'd be a school to avoid, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, that's not on here because he could talk about the hospital for incompetent doctors, where the guy walks into the operating room and he says, "Okay, Mr. Jones, we're here to do your hysterectomy."
And he said, "Doc, where did you get your son from?" And he said, "I eBayed it. YouTubed it, right?"
Yeah.
I think I saw someone like that somewhere too.
Hey guys, I'm going to call it a night. We'll say goodnight to the girls and everything. I'm up here in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, right on the southern shore of Lake Superior, so that's where I'm at. So
Hey,
I'm going to call it a night, guys.
Are you getting any snow up there? I hear it's snowing again up there somewhere.
Well, matter of fact, I put my snowblower away 2 days ago, so hopefully we're done with it for a while.
Somewhere up in the central north up there, they're getting snow again this week.
Good. No, I'm about a mile from the shore of Lake Superior.
Yeah.
Here, so that's
all
where
right,
I'm at.
we'll see you later.
Very good. 7-3. Good night.
Good night.
There's another
Good night.
for them to figure out.
Guys, have a good night now.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here too. I'm getting off. I'm gonna
That's
say.
pretty cool.
What was that?
How do we get the Fox video? It's cool and scary at the same time.
That's exactly right.
Look up something called Face Rig on Steam or Valve, and it's when I got it for a much reduced price because it was in beta, and now that it's been released, it's gone up in price. But it's got multiple avatars that you can pick from.
I looked it up last month after you told us. It wasn't too expensive.
No, it's not.
But I didn't see any characters I wanted to be. I wish they had more characters. All right,
This is
guys.
the one that I
I'm
started
gonna
out
get
with
out.
last
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. More like crazy.
All right, 73 to everybody. We'll see you next week. It'll be a good show next week. Astronaut Wheelock's gonna be with us. He told me he's even gonna get up at 4 and put his astronaut suit on for us.
That's that or his pajamas.
Yeah, probably his pajamas.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
good night, everybody.
Good night,
73.
7-3.
Good night, everybody.